Welcome! It's my first time today. I'll be showcasing you some sim racing content. I'll be doing a race recap of what actually was quite a decent race today on Alton Park. I'm racing the Fanatec GT3 challenge, driving the Ferrari 296 baby. I do like this car, but honestly the only reason why I bought it was that you can also enter the Ferrari GT3 challenge series and you get more bang for your buck. So practice wise, I've probably put in 45 minutes of practice on this car and track before I did this race. With qualifying, you basically have 2 laps to get in your best time, and yesterday's race I exceeded track limits on both laps. So I'm very happy with this session. Got down 2 clean laps and eventually got pole position. So I'm glad I got my all-time PB on this qualifying session. Starting on pole, we've got a 20-minute race on our hands. The strength of field is 1,612, so I am on the upper end of this, sitting at about 1,800 iRacing. As you can see, it's a rolling start behind the safety car. The main thing here is I'm trying to build up some brake and tyre temperature. I honestly don't know if this does anything. Let me know if it's a waste of energy. But eventually the safety car goes in and I floor it when the lights go green. The main mistake I see here is that P2 is not taking advantage of his position. Like in this rolling start, you can be on the left lane or the right lane, and as P2 you have a front row start. As long as his nose is not in front of my car, you can get right up to my door if they like. Either way, I get a decent jump on them, and heading into turn 1 I do run out onto the grass, which gets me a track limits warning. But I don't really care at this point because I'm just trying to build up a gap behind me. And just behind us, the person in 3rd gets punted by the person in 4th, so I do think the person behind's at fault here. When they made the overtake, they should have just had more clearance, and they just tapped the rear and set him loose into the gravel. And then from here, it's a relatively straightforward race. There's no drama, no crashes, a few track limits warnings, but the closest they got to me was about 1 second behind. But interestingly, the guy in P2 got disqualified. I found out here it was because they damaged their car on the chicane. And the game will usually give you a meatball flag to tell you to pit for repairs, your car's way too damaged. And if you ignore it, you eventually get kicked out. And I guess they found out the hard way. Anyway, I end up taking the flag with a gap of 4.3 seconds. Rating wise, I get 3 incident points for exceeding track limits, but I still get a nice increase on safety rating and I rating. So gotta be happy with that. Well, hopefully in a future race I'll get in more overtaking action for you guys, and maybe some rallycross racing.